You're listening to the Mental Game Gym podcast, the place where athletes, parents, and coaches build the mental skills that lead to consistent, confident performance. We explore presence, resilience, values, and everything that fuels a stronger mind. Here's your host, mental performance coach Andrew Crome. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome back to the Mental Game Gym podcast, where we turn mindset training into a competitive edge. I'm Andrew Crome, and today we're digging into something that separates the good from the great. And I feel like I say that pretty much at every single episode, but it's true. Today we're looking at how to mentally prepare for performance. Because the truth is, under pressure, you don't rise to the occasion, but you fall to the level of your preparation. So what I want to do today is raise that level with practical tools that you can actually use. So whether you're an athlete, a coach, a parent who supports your athletes, this episode is for you. Let's begin with a quick story. I was working with a young athlete, let's call her Emma, and she had talent. She had the skills that she needed to perform at her best. But before every big competition, she would feel this wave of anxiety that completely threw her off her performance. And the reason for that was, well, she was physically prepared, but mentally, she was just winging it. She was just hoping that confidence would show up. She was hoping that she would have a good performance. And hope is not a strategy. So therefore, we built her a simple mental warm-up, a mental preparation routine, something that she could rely on, something that she could control and use every single time she performed. And this routine helped her lock in her focus, lock in on her identity, and also lock in on her game plan of what she had to do in this performance. And this really helped. And that's what I want to give to you today. A simple structure for mental preparation that works under pressure. So what does mental preparation actually look like? And it isn't fluff. A lot of people talk about superstitions and just thinking positive or visualize winning. Mental preparation is about training your focus, training your mindset before the start of the competition, before the whistle blows, before the puck drops. And I teach this using a 3-part model. And part 1 is mission mindset. This is your intention for how you want to compete in this competition, in this performance. It's short, it's values-based, and it becomes your internal compass. So a good way to do it is ask yourself, if I were living my values today, how would I compete? How do I want to show up? And that's your mission mindset. So some examples could be stay calm and attack, lead with energy, be fearless and composed, play free, play fast. So think about, for you, what do you want to show up like? Who do you want to be when you're competing? What words describe your values? What do you think is the most important? And this is not about the outcome. Nothing to do with winning or getting points. This is about who you're choosing to be today. No matter what happens. If you make a mistake, you're still choosing to be that person. To be calm and composed, to be resilient, no matter what happens. That's who you're going to be. That's how you're going to act. And now we take that mindset, okay, this is how I want to be, and then we turn it into specific actions. Think about 3 things that you can control, behaviors that you can control in your performance that will help you focus on your game, that are going to give you a good chance of being successful. And these things are things that you can see measure, and repeat. And that's important because we need something that we can see. So if I was watching, or a coach or a parent was watching, they would know exactly if you were acting out those actions, if you were carrying out your game script. We need to be able to measure them, because then we can figure out, am I doing it? Am I not? If we can mark it out of 10, then it's measurable. I know if I'm doing it or not. And that helps because throughout the performance, you can check in and, yeah, I'm working on these things. I'm doing them to the best of my ability. Or maybe I need to do this more. And after a performance, we can also look back and measure how you did with those 3 things. And then the final part is repeat. Can you do this consistently every single moment, every play, every shift, so that you're staying in the present moment and you're focusing on the things that you can control? And you have a plan, which helps us stay calm and composed. And it clears the waters. It makes it less muddy because we know exactly what we need to do. So some examples could be: sprint the first 3 steps in every transition, communicate clearly every play, reset after mistakes with a breath and a cue word. So this is your action plan. This gives your brain a job to do under pressure, so you don't get stuck in overthinking, outcome thinking, or doing something that isn't going to be helpful. So the distinction between your mission mindset and your game script, because a lot of people get that confused. Your mission mindset is who you want to be, whereas your game script is what you're going to do. And together, they can help you stay locked in and behave how you want to behave. And we talked about before the choice point. This is us acting in a way aligned with our values, so that is taking us towards the person we want to be, towards the outcome that we want to achieve. Whereas if I'm acting in a way that's away from the person I want to be, it's not going to help me achieve the goals. If I'm getting frustrated and throwing my stick or shouting and swearing and getting worked up, none of those things are going to help you get towards your goals. So by having these in mind and repeating them and knowing exactly what you need to do during this performance, it increases the likelihood of you performing that way, rather than just leaving it up to chance and hope that you play well. So the final part 3, is your game face activation. And this is the trigger. This is a simple phrase, a couple of words, an animal that captures your ideal competitive identity. So we can go back and look at your mission mindset. Who do I want to be out there? If I'm resilient, if I want to be calm, those are good words to use in your game face. Right? And we can view this as like flipping a switch. We can walk into the arena or wherever we're performing. This is who I'm going to be. This is how I'm going to act. And we can say them: calm, relentless wolf, for example; confident, locked in tiger; focused, tough lion. And this game face gives your body and your mind a shortcut to lock in. We can trigger it in many ways, with a breath, a clap, a bounce, something physical that anchors you. So something that is going to signify, this is me activating my game face. Imagine pushing a button or flipping that switch. And athletes always tell me that this is their favorite tool to use because it makes performance feel personal again. And they're doing things on purpose, intentionally, so that they are performing how they want to. They are feeling, thinking, acting the way that they want to. A big part of pre-performance and preparation is visualization. And this is probably one of the most underused, but one of the most powerful tools in sports psychology. If you want to feel competent, confident under pressure. You have to see yourself performing this way ahead of time. You have to see yourself in difficult situations and acting like you want to, staying calm, staying locked in, being resilient. So here's a 2-minute routine that you can use before practice or games. I want you to picture yourself walking into the venue, walking in how you want to feel. So that could be calm, confident, grounded, for example. See your game script in action. Try and see it as vividly as possible, specific movements, also using different senses to make it as real as possible. So not just seeing yourself, but hearing the sounds that you hear. Maybe there's a familiar smell, or feel a stick in your hand, for example. Go to a setback. I want you to visualize a setback, a mistake, a bad call. And I want you to mentally rehearse how you'll reset from that. Whether it's taking a breath and clicking your fingers, clapping your hands, wiping your hand on your shirt. Go through how you would reset. Because the more you do it, the more chances are that when you're in that position for real, that's how you're going to act. Instead of your brain just hijacking you. And then end with your game face. Breathe it in and then lock that game face in. And do this regularly. And your brain will stop seeing pressure as a threat and they'll start seeing it as familiar. This is always going to be the case. There's always going to be pressure to perform, pressure when you're in a competition. It's never going to leave, but how you handle it is the difference. So the more you prepare, the more you're better able to handle it. And we talked about that choice point. Every athlete will hit that choice point multiple times during a performance. And it's that moment when things can wobble. You start feeling the nerves of the doubt. You start hearing those negative words coming up. You feel frustration. The question is, do you towards the person that you want to be and the outcomes that you want, or do you get pulled into fear, blame, or overthinking? That's the choice point. This is where the mental prep pays off. This is where the mental game is so important, because when you notice yourself drifting, you can catch it and you can decide, do I want to go away from the person I want to be, or do I want to stay on this course and go towards the person I want to be? Using our reset, taking a breath, reminding ourselves of our game face, reminding ourselves of the 3 things that I need to do right now that's going to help me perform. So we're refocusing on the present moment, on the plan that we already have in place, because it's much harder to refocus in the moment if we don't have a plan. The more we've rehearsed the plan, the easier it is for us to stick with that plan, even when things go wrong. And it's not about staying perfect, right? It's more about getting back to what matters quickly. People say it's not about the setback, but it's about the comeback. People are always looking for how people respond to mistakes. When you hear scouts speaking about what they're looking for, that's one of the things. If you make a mistake, how do you react? What does your body language look like? And that's something that we can control, but it's a skill and it takes time to develop. And we have to work on that skill. So I'm giving you a challenge. Before your next competition, I want you to take 5 minutes. I want you to write down, even now if it's possible, write down, what is your mission mindset? Who do you want to be in this competition, in this game? Write down your game script. What are the things that you need to do that you can control that's going to help you perform to the best of your ability, to give you the best chance of success? And then, what is your game face? What are the words that describe how you want to play? When you're at your best, what are you doing? And then visualize yourself executing. go through that list and visualize yourself executing those things. Confidence doesn't come from hype, it comes from consistency. When you prepare your mind like you prepare your body, you don't just show up hoping for confidence. You bring it with you. It's already in your bag. It's already in here. Don't leave it up to chance. Start taking action, start taking control. And if you found this episode helpful, then share it with someone. Listen to it again. And if you're ready to up your mental game, get in touch with me and we can start working on how you prepare your mind so that you can compete and take confidence with you. So until next time, keep training your mind like you train your body.